Hey everyone, today we will be reviewing all of the cards from the Day of the Rebirth miniset. As you know, it will be released on September the 2nd and in Tuesday. And as you know, this is the expansion Dost of Ungaro, and it was a pretty weak expansion compared to other expansions, other previous expansions. So this mini set should be a good chance to recover from it. But as we will be reviewing, you will understand that these cards are not as impactful as the StarCraft or other mini sets. So first, starting with the Dead Knight card, Story of Umbra. It is a 7 mana spell which has no spell school and says discover a dead little minion that costs 5 or more. Summon it and trigger its death rattle. So as you know, Umbra is the 7 mana card that we have gotten, and this is the Story of Umbra, which is going to replicate its effect in a way. So this card is actually bad because you don't get the card itself. You summon the minion and trigger the minion. It is not a you don't even get the warrior out of it. So I don't think this card is a really good card. But if you could get some Space Orb Collector or some other big minions from this, and you could summon it and trigger its death rattle, it could be valuable, but for 7 mana, I don't think this card is really good. And if you are looking at the meta right now, it is pretty fast for cards like Random Value. Continuing with Hollow Direhorn, a 5 mana 5/4 undead beast. It says Rush. After a friendly minion dies, spend 3 corpses to gain the bone. So this could help for the Dead Knight quest, which is to spend 15 corpses, and you play this card and you attack. You play this card. You already have a board. Your board attacks random minions. They die, and you give it the bone again, and they attack again. They die, and this could be pretty easy way to complete the quest, but if I don't think completing the quest is too hard. The reward is pretty bad and it is not worth the investment, and that is because the quest is failing. So this card doesn't make any change for it, so I am going to give it a 2 out of 5 in standard. And 1 mana shadow spell. So there is not a lot of 1 mana shadow spells for Dead Knight. It says give your minions +1 attack and rush. They die at the end of your turn. So I think this card is pretty decent. If you want, like, if you already give your minions rush and they are going to attack to bigger targets, they are already going to die. So this is a pretty good card because you give all of your minions rush and +1 attack only for 1 mana. This is a 4-star card. This is a pretty good card. This could see play in lots of Dead Knight decks. I think this is a decent card for Dead Knight. Continuing with Demon Hunter, and oh man, this is a very bad card. Like, you need to play 6 mana, 6/5 to deal 12 damage to opponent's minions. This can't even go face. Like, and you need to play a demon or a beast the previous turn. So I don't think this card sees no play at all. This is a 1 out of 5-star card, and the only way that you could get value out of this is from the Cliched portal. The next card is Horn of Feasting. Summon 3 2/1 Raptors with Rush, and if you play this as the rightmost or leftmost card in your hand, give them immune this turn. So this card is basically created for the quest of Demon Hunter, which says deal 2 damage, and if you could, it procs this 3 times, and if you could give it immune potentially 6 times, But I think this card is bad even for the quest because it's a 4 mana, 3 2/1s, do nothing, 2 out of 5 in standard, and the other card is the 3 mana 4/2, reduce the cost of adjacent cards in your hand by 1. So this could be pretty good in terms of setting up a combo or mana cheating, but you invest 1 mana 4/2 to 3 mana to reduce 2 cards. So this is kind of good in some combo decks, but I don't know where you suit this card in. Like, do you want to run a hard copy of this card? I don't think so. But still a 3 out of 5 in standard. Continuing with the Druid cards, this is the gigantic minion 9 mana 9/9 Taunt Elusive. And that will give all minions in your hand and deck +3/+3. So this is like a minion version of the Wish Upon a Star, and you could bring this with Hydration Station, but I don't think board. You don't. 9 mana is a big mana cost, so I don't think this pays up. Like you can get 7 mana out of Wish Upon a Star to give +2/+3. So I don't think this card is really fits. Like there is no Druid deck that Seismopod could potentially be good in this meta, but we will see it in the future. And I think this card cannot be played in any token decks. So it is a 2 out of 5 in standard, not really good. And the Panther Mask. So this is one of the mascots that are given to this that are the topic of this in the set. There is this Panther card which says 5 mana 4 and stand, and when this attacks, draw 2 cards. So this is not bad. You draw 2 cards for 4 mana. Like Arcane Intellect is 3 mana, so it's basically 1 mana, give a minion 5 dot and stat. This is not a bad card. You could play this. It is 3 out of 5 in standard, but Rogue has better draw options like with Dubious Purchase and other cycle cards. I don't think this card is very good. And continuing with another card. So this is the last Druid card, and it is actually good. So it says it is an egg. It is a delta summon a 1/2 beast and give your minions +1/+1. So as you know, this you can kill this guy with life cycle, and you play this, kill this guy life cycle, summon 2 other guys, and this could potentially see play in token druid, quest druid, but that archetype is not exactly thriving, and I am not sure if one card is going to make that possible. But it is a good card, and I think it deserves a 4 out of 5 in standard. And continuing with the Hunter cards. So Aniklodon takes 8 mana 7/7 taunt their turtle, summon 2 random 3 cost beats. They attack at random enemies. So card pool is not really good. Like you could get Flutter Rattle, you could get Arcanos, which is pretty good. This is bad. You could get Mugla out of it. You could get Tunutera out of it. There are some pretty good beasts. 3 mana beasts, like, what is this? Gorm the World Eater. But I think this card is kind of bad because it's 8 mana, but the effect is not bad. You could get, if this was like 6 mana or 5 mana 5/5, 6 mana 6/6, it could be better, but 8 mana is a lot of investment for random beasts. So you could get a 2 mana 3, you could get a 3/4, which makes no impact at the board when you're at turn 8. So this card is 1 or 2 out of 5 in standard. And yeah, we get another mask. So this is for the King Crush. As you know, the 9 mana 8/8 card that has charge. and you do it for 8 mana, and you can give a minion of yourself 8/8 and give it charge. So this card is could be good in some decks to finish off the opponent, but as you know, Hand Buff Hunter and Beast Hunter are the most popular beast decks and most popular hunter decks, and this fits nothing to it. So I don't think this card will see play. But still, it is a fun concept, and I am going to give it 2 out of 5 in standard. So continuing with the last hunter card, which is a 1 mana 1/1 Battle Cry, get a random 1 cost minion, and Dread Turtle get another 1 cost spell. So this is a pretty good card because you get for 1 mana 2 cards. You get this is very good in value matchups because a 1 cost minion could be really good. A 1 cost spell like tracking or other stuff could be good. But I think that this card is specifically created for the newly whenever you play a minion and double its stats, and whenever you play a spell and cast it twice. So this card is a good card. It could be in Discover Hunter in High Legend. And we will see about this, but I am going to give it 4 out of 5 in standard, which is a pretty decent vote for this mini set. And continuing with mage cards. 7 mana 3/6 Mech and Beast Taunt. It says Taunt. Mage generally doesn't have Taunt minions, so this is pretty interesting. Like, I don't think Mage has ever gotten some Taunt minions in history. So this could be a first, but it says cost 1 less for each card you played this game that didn't start in your deck. So this could be a 0 mana 3/6 if you play 7 cards that didn't start in your deck. This is specific for the Quest Mage, but as you know, Quest Mage doesn't run lots of minions, and I don't think this card is really good because it's not worth the investment. And you generally don't need taunts when you can swarm your board or create some gigantic minions with Quest Mage. So I don't think this card sees some play. And it doesn't say discover, it says for each card you played this game. So I am going to give this card 2 out of 5 in standard. So this is for the another mask. This is for the polymorph, and it says set a minion stats to 1/1 and give it that it will deal 2 damage to all minions. So this is not like, polymorph. Polymorph decreases all of the stats and all of the. It is basically silence, and it says that it means stats to 1/1, and that it will deal 2 damage. So this could be a really good. You could play this card and pin the minion, and it is a nice area, but I don't think this is a really good card in terms of control. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 in standard. Tribute Dance is a bad card. The concept is good, but it's a bad card because you could play a Wisp and your opponent has a Starship. You could make the opponent's Starship a Wisp, or you could make your Wisp a Starship. But how should this card should have been is to exchange the cards, exchange the minions. Like, you play a Wisp, and you choose your opponent's Starship. Your opponent's Starship starts to be a Wisp, and your Wisp transforms into a Starship. This could be this should have been how this card was, but they misprinted it, I guess, or they just want to reduce the power clip. This is a bad card. 3 out of 5 or 2 out of 5 in standard. So we are continuing with the Paladin cards, and this is an 8 mana, no spell school by the way. Discover a legendary minion to summon, set its stats to 10/10. So legendary minions, you don't even get to have the legendary minion itself, you just summon it. So this is basically an 8 mana 10/10 with no effect, no battle card. Maybe you could get a Death Rattle, but there is no Death Rattle available to Paladin. So this card is pretty bad, 1 out of 5 in standard, there's no need to talk about it anymore. And Hatching Ceremony. At the end of your next turn, so not at the end of your turn, it is at the end of your next turn. Give your minions +2/+2. So you play this at 3. The next turn you have 4 mana and you swam your board with 4 mana and you buff it at the end of your turn. So this could go in some Argo Paladin decks, but I don't think this sees play because it is at the end of your next turn. So I am going to give this card a 1 out of 5 in standard. The next card element Paladin gets is a support for the Quest Moloch, which struggles on getting back on the board. And this card is pretty good, and you give all of your minions rush. So this is a pretty good card. I think this card will really see play in Quest Murloc Paladin, and we hate all of the Quest Murloc Paladins. They are so unskilled and unfaithful players. They should be all down. But I think this is a pretty good card for them. They should be happy, but everyone else is sad. So continuing with another mask, it says Behemoth's mask is 7 mana, set a minion stat to 8/10 and give it lifesteal. Force a random enemy minion to attack it. So this is a priest card. So you could potentially heal for 8 and have a 8/10 on board for 7 mana. Is it worth it? No, this card is bad. It is 2 out of 5 in standard. Continuing with the next priest card, it says 8 mana 5/10. Taunt deck turtles, summon a random taunt minion that costs 5 or more. So you could get some taunt minions out of this. You could get pretty good cards, but I don't think it is worth the investment for 8 mana because random taunt minion is generally not good. And 1 out of 5, this deserves 1 out of 5 in standard. Ritual of Life. It is a 2 mana holy spell and it reads discover a 3 cost minion, summon a 2/2 copy of it. So this is a pretty good card. As you know, there was the Cactus Construction in the meta. It was the 1 mana summoner. It was the 1 mana minus of all of the things here. It says discover 3 cost minion, summon a 1 mana copy of it. And that card saw play. And this card is going to also saw some play because it is good for value and for tempo. This is good. And this card will see some play, and this is a pretty good priest card. It is a 4 out of 5 in standard. Continuing with our second legendary, the first legendary, this is the Rogue card, and it says 3 mana 3/3, mimics the crystalline. It is an elemental and beast. It says while in your hand, this is a 3/3 copy of the last minion your opponent played. This card is a good card. You could get random minions out of this. You could get a random value out of this. I don't think there is a specific rogue deck for this. Like you could fit this in Ashaman Rogue, you could fit this in not Cycle Rogue, not Agro Rogue, but maybe probably in 5-Egg Rogue. This could be a pretty good way to get value. I think this card will see some play in some point in his life. It is a 4 out of 5 in standard. So this card is a pretty good card for the Quest Rogue, and it says 2 mana 2/2 weapon, Battle Cry, shuffle the leftmost card in your hand into your deck, and there's a draw 2 cards. So it's a 2 mana draw 1 card. If you think that you draw 2 cards and shuffle, but what is important is that you could play this at 2, and when you have your quest in the turn 1, you could potentially proc the quest for 1, and this is a pretty good card. I think it will see some play. It's a 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 in standard. So the next card we see for Rogue is get a random mask from another class, and its combo it costs 2 less. So the masks that we have received is not really good. This is the Warlock one, we are coming to that. I think this card will see no play. I think this card is 2 out of 5 in standard. Continuing with the Shaman cards, and this is the 4 mana Stegodon, Shield Spine Stegodon, 4 mana 3/3 Elemental Beast. It says deal 2 damage to 2 random enemy minions. So it is the opponent should have 2 minions on their board to effectively get value out of this. And it says if you have played an elemental or a beast before this turn, you could freeze this. It's not a bad card. This could see some play, but for 4 mana you are freezing 2 minions, 2 random minions. At most, I think this card doesn't see play. It is a 2 out of 5. So the next card we get is for the Quest Shaman, and it says at the end of your turn get a random minion with multiple minion types. So you could get Amalgam out of this, you could get the Elemental Beast, you could get the Elemental Dragon. So this could help you proc your quest, and this is a totem itself, and it is pretty good. 4 out of 5 for Quest Shaman. It says Fire Breath, deal 4 damage and give your elementals 1/1/1. So Shaman doesn't have Swarm elementals, Shaman just have damage elementals. So I think this card could see some play because it's a 3 mana deal 4 damage and buff your minions. This card is pretty good in elemental Shaman. I think it is 5 out of 5 for Shaman. And Asphyxiodon, which is an 8 mana 6/10 Demon Beast. Taunt at the end of your turn, deal 5 damage to one enemy minion. It's bad. This card is so bad. It's 1 out of 5 in standard. It's a really bad card for Warlock. You could get absolutely no value out of this. And Possess Animancer, 6 mana 2/2 Death Rattle, summon a random beast from your deck, give it lifesteal. Are there any good beasts for like Warlock to play with? I don't think there is none. This card is really bad. As for 6 mana you get basically nothing. It should have been Battle Cry. That is really bad. This card sees no play, 1 out of 5 in standard. So the Bat Mask. Set a friendly minion starts to 1/1. Fill your boards with copies of it. What the heck is this card, man? This card could see some play in some disgusting deck, but I don't think I see any of the options you can play this card in. But this card could see some play in the future. It's a pretty fun concept that some people might want to get the power of it, but in this current standard it is 1 out of 5. But in the upcoming metas, it could be 5 out of 5. I have no idea. And continuing with Warrior, it is a 8 mana 5/23 legendary dragon beast. The great dragon, look at the artwork, it is a nice artwork, and it says after this attacks an enemy minion, it damages all other enemy minions, and it has a rush. So this is a 5 attack AoE that has 12 health. Like 12 health is a lot for an 8 mana minion, and you are literally killing all of his board. And if this was a buff to 10, it could deal 10 damage to all of the enemy minions. I think this card sees up play in Dragon decks, Dragon Warrior. It is a pretty good card for control. It is pretty good option, I think, and I think it is pretty good in the warrior decks too for Quest Warrior, and I think this card is a 4 out of 5 in standard. Continuing with the next warrior card, 3 mana for 3 beast. Whenever you gain armor, gain +2/+2 and attack a random enemy minion. This card sucks. This card is really bad. I don't think this card sees any play. 1 out of 5, and 7 mana Guard routine. Summon a random 6/4/2 cost target minion. I mean, this card is alright, but like, where could you play this? Which warrior deck is eager to get this card? There is no warrior card that would like to get this card. Like, you could get a Ham from this, you could get a Dirty Red from 2 cost, you could get Arcanite, you could get a Last Menagerie DK card from this, but I don't think this card is really good in terms of the decks that are available for warrior. It's a decent card in itself, but deck-wise it's bad. I am going to give this card 2 out of 5 in standard. So we are continuing with the neutral legends, and it says 7 mana 2/2 Battle Cry. Discover a legendary beast from any class to gain its stats. So like, it is a 7 mana legendary. It is a legendary beast. So you could get a golden out of this. You could get a big beast out of this. Make this card 7 mana 11/11. And whenever this dies, you could summon that beast. It is alright. It is not really synergetic with anything. You don't get any of the beasts to your hand. You just summon it, and this is no value out of it. So this is just a 7 mana bomb, 7 mana start bomb, and both kills are available to some classes, not every class. I think this could be a pretty good card, so I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 in standard. The Egg of Chaos, which is a very bad card. It says 3 mana 0/3. You need to break this egg 5 times to summon Chaos. So it is a 3 mana 20/20. If you could break this 5 times, how are you going to break this 5 times? Like, there is no way you could potentially be able to break this card. In most of the decks, like, you don't have self-destruction cards. You don't have. This could work pretty well against Leech deck guys late night, so I am going to give this card 2 out of 5 in standard. And 5 mana 3/4 Creative Experiment. You can summon a copy of this. So if you have played any minion that has a minion type, previous turn you are going to have a 5 mana 6/8. Is it good? No, I don't think it is good, but these all minions, the all type minions, are kind of suspicious. So this could see some play in some combo deck, some amalgam decks, but I don't think it is going to be very impactful. Continuing with the another natural minion, it is a 2 mana 1/2 and Battle Cry, draw an egg. This is a good card. Like, you are tutoring a specific card for 2 mana, but there is not lots of 0 mana cards in this meta, so I don't think drawing and 0 attack minion is really good. But it is tutoring. This could see some play in the egg decks, especially with the Egg of Chaos card. So this is 3 out of 5 in standard in meta-wise. The last neutral is the 3 mana 3/3, give a friend the beast +2/+2 and wash. So this is a bad card. Like, it should have been give a friendly minion +2/+2 and wash. This beast makes it so specific, and I think it says no play. But otherwise, I think this miniset is not going to be impactful. This miniset was as bad as the expansion release. So this is another failure from Blizzard Entertainment in terms of Hearthstone development. But if you are going to reduce the power creep and you don't want to nerf the previous power creep cards, I think this is the pain that you need to get out of it. So I hope you have learned the cards, and I hope my reviews were persistent, and I hope you had fun. Goodbye.